Still Carnival.
It's, I have a part of it's 2A, 2B, and 2C.
Oh, it's 2A?
Whether the report, our map are 2A, 2B, and 2C on your report are some maps.
Okay, I see it. I see.
Well, which one
You know,
refers to the project you're talking
Well,
about?
all three pages, two.
That's what I'm saying, though.
All the maps on here are the same project?
Yeah, three different type of maps.
Well, the first one is-
Site plan, one's a Google map, so one's site plan, one's an applicant's records officer, one's just your,
That's a pretty good set. I mean,
Minimally
that's-
intrusive.
That's a pretty good bit. See, some of those lots in there, they come in there and they got that marsh grass and those old maritime oaks in there and stuff.
Right,
So
that's
you
why
gotta
you-
be careful with that.
and that's what you're
Surely
seeing
do.
here. That's exactly what you're seeing here. You're seeing a lot that has a great deal of wetlands on it. These lots were planted back, you know,
That's those,
50s.
Alan, that's those St. Joe lots, I think, that we had approved
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Remember,
yes.
back in the early 2000s?
Well, this is not a St. Joe lot, this is not part of the subdivision, this
No.
is nearby. But in any event, it has a big wetland on there, and so lots are created, you know. This is not the St. Joe lot.
Okay, now I see where it's at now, now that I see it's
Right across from
it's
Infill.
between Infill and Tata Street, over there off there,
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
and, Mr. Chairman, just for the
That's-
record,
east of it, east of it.
Yes, sir.
just for the record, I spoke to Mr. Jay Hill, who is the owner, and he has confirmed that the footprint of the house does not exceed 1,000 square feet, consistent with your policy.
Okay. And what do,
Ms. Roxy's here. If you have,
Okay.
do you have any questions for her?
no, I think Michael just answered it for us.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, you can have a seat.
That's
I don't want to chase you away or anything.
Okay, let's go back to,
I mean, the house, you know, it's 1,000 square feet, it's an existing lot of record. I presume it's being served by sewer also, which is why I'm saying septic tank on here. So, I mean, you know, it's a lot that is entitled to have a house built, and we're trying to make the smallest house
yeah,
possible.
yeah. Okay, and it was approved, was the vote,
So water, it's water.
Yes, sir.
sewer,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, was it,
Water and sewer,
Roxy,
yes,
was
sir.
the vote unanimous?
Yes.
Okay,
And he does have central sewer and water
Yeah, I
service.
think
Yeah.
so.
go ahead and.
Okay, you ready to speak?
If
Well,
you have any
I was gonna
questions.
make a motion to approve. I was gonna make
go
a
ahead.
motion to
Go ahead.
approve. I was gonna make a motion to approve.
Okay. Go ahead.
I did.
All right. Got a motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
And finally, item 3 is a request for variance to construct a 4x24 boardwalk to connect to a dock extended from mean high water to a 20x20 elevated deck in the critical habitat zone. 24 feet from mean high water on a property described as east half of lots 2 and 15. And this kills me every time they say the city of St. George, Franklin County, Florida.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask Lou
Yes,
Joe?
ma'am.
Lou Joe's out here. Lou Joe, that's the old Soraka house up there, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next to where Russell Saints' old place was, okay. I'll make a motion to approve, I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion on the floor, have a second? Second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Roxy.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank y'all.
That the end of your report on that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Marshall Johnson?
I don't have one.
Don't have one. Mr. Alan Pierce?
We talked about, we've done that basically, everything was sort of, we talked about this morning, got the contract approved, so there'll be a meeting tomorrow, or teleconference tomorrow with the 8 counties. There's still this issue out there, you know, will the 8 counties have to bind themselves together separately from the consortium in order to protect our rights and our, you know, our situation, our position in this restore stuff. So that'll be discussed tomorrow on a conference call, I'll be on that conference call.
Okay. Mr. Michael Morone,
That's me, sir.
that's you. You here.
Item 1, for the board, that the annual legislative delegation meeting has been confirmed for Monday, September 28th at 7 PM, right in here in the county commission room. Yes, sir. That's, 2 Mondays, a couple of weeks away. Last week
20
of the
what?
month. The 28th
That's the last one?
of the month, the last week of the
Okay.
month, yes, sir. I need board action to authorize Pebble Ridge to advertise for bids for the Timber Island Bridge repair project. They did the design, now it's time to bid it out.
So move.
Second. Motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Item 3 is what Kurt was referring to. I'm going to defer that until someone from FWC is here to explain that a lot better, because they want to put up a pretty big sign out there by the East Point Visitor Center about bears, you know, being in the county and don't feed the bears. So we'll defer that till next meeting. So we skip straight down to item 6, board action to support and authorize the chairman's signature on a proclamation to raise awareness of heart disease and proclaim September 29th as World Heart Day.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Item 7, Ms. Amy Kelly is from the Planning and Building Department, is requesting board action authorizing the chairman's signature on the 2015 CRS Annual Recertification and Annual Progress Report. This report is an annual, year-long project that prevents and reduces flood measures. The building department has maintained a CRS Class 7, which is a 15% reduction in cost of flood insurance for special flood hazard areas with flood insurance policies in place, and they're working really hard to try and get us down to Class 6 in 2016, which will be a saving of 20% instead of the 15% we have now.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
And just in case you didn't get it, registration is now open for FAC's legislative conference. This conference will be from November 18th to the 20th.
We need a motion on that, don't we?
Yeah, for expenses,
Yes,
Schuler,
Okay.
myself, if
I make-
Alan, if he's going. I'm just teasing, y'all just.
I make a motion that we have staff and commissioners that need to go, be able to go and make our arrangements through Amy.
And Amy will be checking with y'all.
Second. Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Next item is board action to authorize me as the official point of contact for the county's Enterprise Zone Development Agency. Mr. Pierce is the current point of contact.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we go ahead, Alan, since you're fixing to step on down, can we go ahead and get Michael in all those committees that he needs to be sitting on where you, the
You know,
point
as they
person?
come, I'll be honest, like this one, I could have done it months ago, I forgot about it until someone made a request.
Yeah, but,
for
I
it.
mean, we've
Yeah.
got-
I don't know how many more there are, I just can't remember them.
But I'm gonna make a motion to, direct Alan and Michael to get together on the committees that you need to be appointed to take Alan's place. That y'all do that, and that's my motion, Mr. Chair.
All righty, have a motion on the
Second.
floor, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
He just won't let me on the free lunch committee. Item 10, Panhandle Players has approached Mr. Pierce and discussed the possibility of an agreement between them and the county to oversee the use of the Chapman Auditorium. Attorney Schuler will need board action, board authority action to move forward with creating this agreement. Mr. Ed Aguiar is here,
Yes.
Panhandle's Players President, to answer any questions you may have.
Good morning.
Yeah, I really have only one question, is if there's another entity in the county that would like to use that auditorium, then this would authorize you to oversee the use of the Chapman Auditorium?
That's correct.
Do we have your commitment that you will work with the people in the general public, such as churches or anyone else that might need to use that would go through you and you would try to reasonably accommodate them?
Absolutely.
So what are your plans on, how you gonna do this thing?
What we plan on doing is just the performances that we currently have in the county. I mean, as you know, Panhandle Players has been here 28 years now, and we've been renting venues across the county. This kind of gives a home to the Panhandle Players, and as that happens, what we'll do is also make some improvements, not material improvements, but hopefully to the interior of the building, not to affect any grants that are in place that went into that building, but maybe bring it up to date. We're going to add some things also for handicap users as well, because we have an population that we have a few people there. I spent 3 years in a wheelchair myself, so I'm very, as the first thing I looked at. And the building's pretty friendly. But we're looking to put our performances in there, and also those improvements will benefit some of those other groups as well.
But what if somebody else wanna use it, how, it's gonna be free?
It's free, using the building would be free. Only thing we would look for is if we did make improvements, saying like replacing the curtains that are currently there, the stage curtains, those types of things, more would be looking for is a contribution. We are a nonprofit as well. Currently, we have operated for 28 years and very little has shown up, but mostly reserved for if we added some lighting equipment, if we added some sound equipment, and those groups wanted to use that equipment, then obviously we would look for a contribution towards that. That would be
A
the only fee
donation.
involved. What's that?
Donation type thing?
Yeah, a fee we would be looking for those types of equipment, just to set up a reserve account. It wouldn't even be a profit center, because we are looking more to protect the property that's being used, which is a sound system or lighting, those types of improvements. We would look to set up a reserve account, so that when something did happen, there would be money there to replace those items.
What kind of fee?
What's that?
Amount of the fee?
Fee, I do not know at this time. We haven't made those improvements yet. We have to get in there and look at the building and see what needs to be replaced. But it would be a nominal fee. We would, if they wanted to use the building for their performance without using the additional sound equipment or light equipment, then we're not looking at a fee.
Gonna charge the church?
What's that?
Gonna charge the church?
He ain't charging nobody.
Yeah.
It's just a donation if you want to donate to it for improvement.
Correct. But you're concerned about the church. If the church is the same performance they've done in the past, they have not used additional equipment. So they would still have the same access to do the same performance they've done in the past.
Okay.
It would actually create a venue where they don't have to come to the county every time somebody wanted to
Correct.
use the building. They would just talk to you, and if the date's available, or you work out a date where it's available, then those issues don't have to come to the board every
Yeah, just
time.
trying to find somebody to
Correct.
manage the building for us and make it open to the public, use it, you know.
Kind of oversee it, make sure it stays clean, that type
Yeah.
of stuff.
And there's some good,
In
good
exchange.
updates, like you said, with the lights and the sound system commissioners.
So we would,
I just need you guys to authorize Attorney Schuler, because he has to create this from scratch.
right, and I'll make a motion that the attorney draft up something, some kind of agreement with the Panhandle players, and let them start having their skits and everything up there. I mean, the stage is appropriate for that, it has appropriate seating for that, it has restrooms there for that, and it's a perfect venue for y'all, as well as the people in the community. I just want to make sure that we're not alienating the public where they can't use it, and we all agree that the public will be able to still utilize this historic building and enjoy it.
Yeah. We'd just like to see it used more often. I mean, I think it'd be great now that the roof is fixed and things to have performances there. And it probably, I think as many of you asked, it'll allow other groups to enjoy it much more as well.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All right, I have a motion second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
How the people gonna find the contacts, sir?
The contact information, what we'll do is we'll try and set something up, instead of it being directly through the county, through the Panhandle players. And so we'll advertise that or do those types of things within the community. I think currently, not only are they coming to you, but they're also going to the principal of the high school who had access to it. So we'll just change that over to us as well.
Also, if you give me information, we put a link on the county's website where they can click and email you or something to that effect.
Perfect. And as you know, the nonprofits all know each other here. I appreciate it.
All right, you have a good day.
Good morning.
Okay, the next two items are from Mr. Currington. Item 11, application to transfer the submerged land leases for the two docks on the Ellis Court property, just east of Carabel, needs the signature of the chairman. This transfer does not change anything other than note that the ownership has changed from Capital City to Franklin County. Having the chairman sign this application will authorize Mr. Currington to act as the board's agent if any further information is required.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item 12, Innovia Consulting submitted documentation that the sidewalk along Tallahassee Street and Highway 67 in Carabel could not be designed for the funding provided by the LAP agreement. The Florida Department of Transportation has authorized additional funding, $17,578, for the design work. I need board action to approve the supplemental agreement for this funding. The total funding for the design now comes to $61,863.
So moved.
Second, but I've got some questions about it.
You want to go ahead before we vote?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Are we gonna be continuing to see this? Because I thought I mean, I don't want to come in here every board meeting having a change in here on the,
No, this should be the end of it.
this should be the end of it?
Design, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
And this was concern was there from the onset commissioner, once we selected, that was.
Well, and that's what I'm concerned about, because I know that apparently it wasn't enough funding, so he went back to get some more funding, so,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Well, hopefully it'll look good for design, will avoid problems like we had.
Yeah, Lord.
So,
Well, we are gonna have
One across
problems.
on 98, you know,
Yes, I do.
my buddy.
Did we vote?
Did we vote? I think we have a motion.
Yeah, we got to vote.
Yeah, we got
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
FWC has invited the board to attend a management advisory group to assist with the planning efforts for the Box R Wildlife Management Area located in Franklin County and Gulf Counties. A copy of the notice is attached.
This is an annual or biannual
Yeah.
thing, nothing new. They're just looking at the review of the mansion plan.
Yeah, I'd like for Smokey, if you
I've
wanna
been
go to it.
contacted by the FWC
Good,
as it was in my district, and I
Yeah.
think last year Commissioner Jackal went to the meeting, but I did assure him I'd attend
but
this
you
year.
need to, because that's in your area. You're right.
Last year, I'm sorry. Continue.
15, yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
Okay, last year, the board submitted a letter to the legislative delegation requesting that a bill be entered into the legislature providing an exemption for persons over 65 having to pay $100 for a saltwater products license. Would the board like me to submit the same request for the upcoming legislative delegation? I attached last year's letter to your packet.
Yes.
Do I need a motion, Commissioner? Sorry, Attorney Schuler.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I make a motion, we do that.
Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Continue.
The look he gave me. Inform the board that the Florida Department of Agriculture and the University of Florida is ready to move forward with the $250,000 contract for the renovation of the prior Research Reserve Building as the new IFAS location. The Department of Agriculture has agreed to contract with UF directly to manage the project. The county will manage the paving section of the project, but will be reimbursed by the university. That's something Alan's been working on with the university to
And that
make sure.
$250,000 included $125,000 for paving the front of the road, and so that money will be
Yeah.
used, once we open our bids, and we will then, bill them for that, whatever the cost of that paving is. But it's easier for them, the University of Florida, to manage, they're gonna own the building, they're gonna run the building, so let them manage the renovation of the building.
Let me ask you, they gonna use local contractors, right?
Commissioner, I don't know at this point, they're still in the design phase, but they will bid it out. Yes, they'll have to bid it out.
Yeah, we need a motion on that, or we done?
No, I'm
Like,
just-
we done motion 2 or 3 times before on
We're just
this.
telling you how it's gonna run.
Yeah, just so you
Okay.
guys are aware of it.
All right.
Item 16, later this week, I will be emailing you the list of projects we submitted for approval during the last legislative session. As a reminder, the board needs to recommend a project as a number one priority, as suggested by Senator Mumford, possibly at the next meeting. I just want to remind you guys of that, because we really need to pick that number one project. But I know you asked for the list of projects we did at the last meeting, as a starting point. Item 17, I do need board action to schedule an end of fiscal year meeting to pay current fiscal year remaining invoices. This meeting will help the finance office with bookkeeping. We did it last year.
What date can we,
September 30th, I think is the date that we need.
yeah,
Would
it's
you-
the last day.
Like me to do it at 10? What's your preference for time? Is 10 okay for everybody?
What's the 30th
It's a
on?
Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
It will be a Wednesday.
Give me a second, I'll tell you.
It will be a Wednesday, Monday's 28th.
Yeah, Monday the 28th, which has the legislative delegation meeting.
And that was my question while Mr. Schuler's looking up dates there,
It is
is,
Wednesday.
you know, on item 16, you got making about the priorities for the delegation and we won't have another board meeting between now.
Well, I'm sorry, that's
Between
more for
now
the
and
The
session.
deadline for the application for turning it isn't until November.
November,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, not necessarily for the delegation.
So we don't have to have that done by the meeting?
Oh, no,
Okay,
sir, not at
okay.
all.
Okay.
Let's have it at 9 o'clock and get it over with. Is that
The
okay?
only thing I wanted to say was that is the same day that we're having the retirement luncheon here for Ms. Jefferson, and you were all invited.
Well, let's have it
I
at,
didn't know if y'all wanted to have a meeting closer, so you would,
What time's the party?
at noon.
Do it at 11?
11.
Might be
Yeah,
fine,
that's
time to get here at
fine.
11, get through.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we'll
that's
do it at
fine.
11,
That's fine.
It's 11.
yeah.
11 on the
Attorney
30th.
Schuler, do I need a motion for that, sir?
You've already asked for a motion.
I did, I'm sorry, board action, I do need board action.
So moved.
Second.
And it'd be September 30th at 11 o'clock in the morning.
I have a motion, need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Thank God this is the last item. Mr. Pierce has an update, I'm sorry, it'd actually be Jason Puckett, the airport manager, has an update on the Airport Evaluation Committee public meeting last night and the Airport Advisory Committee regular meeting that was held also last night.
Good morning, Commissioners. At 6 PM last night, at a properly noticed public meeting, the evaluation team for recommending an airport consulting engineering met. The evaluation team ranked Avcon first and recommends the board begin negotiations with them to continue as their airport engineers. The standard length of contract as recommended by the FAA is 5 years. Mr. Lee Lewis from Avcon is here to answer any questions that you may have.
So y'all
there.
recommend the AVCON?
Yes, ma'am. We had three of us that ranked it, myself, Mr. Allen, and Mr. Ted Mosteller, and the rankings were compiled by Mr. Marone, and Avcon
AVCON.
won.
Okay, with the recommendation of the Airport Advisory Committee and all that with the Evaluation Committee, I make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
At 6:30, the regular AAC meeting started. The AAC is now a 7-member board. Chairman, Mr. Ted Mosteller, announced that long-serving member Art Little is no longer able to attend the meetings. By a vote of the AAC, it is recommended to the board that Mr. Pete Berger take Mr. Little's place on the AAC. Mr. Pete Berger is a pilot, has a hangar at the airport, and is a longtime user of the airport. We need board action to appoint Mr. Berger to fill the vacancy in the AAC.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
As a quick report on the airport, things are going well. During the course of the meeting, Crystal announced that for the first time since they took over as FBO, all their T hangars are rented. At this time, some of the T hangars have non-aviation related tenants, but in accordance with FAA policy and with the support of the AAC, Crystal Elwer began to phase out the non-aviation tenants in favor of aviation related tenants. Crystal Air is halfway through its 5-year contract as the FBO operator. Their contract started November 1, 2012 and will expire on October 30th, 2017. So for the first time, the airport we're full, which is great news. That's what we need. In the course of the meeting, it was discussed to recommend the board to extend my contract as the airport manager. I'm currently closing out the first year of my 2-year contract, and I would like to possibly renew it for 3 more years. My current contract expires October 31st, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries.
And I'm hurrying. The last item on the meeting was a motion by member Randy Randolph, seconded by my member Frank Stevens, to have member Randall Terry become the new AAC chairman. There were no dissenting votes. Mr. Ted Mosteller said that he had been appointed as chairman by the county commission in April of 1998. The AAC does not have any adopted rules of order, so we kind of need direction on how the board needs to take to vote on this chairmanship. Maybe Mr.
Mr.
Schuler.
Sanders, you sitting here?
There was a unanimous vote by the,
There was no dissenting votes, yes, sir.
so moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yes, sir.
The board got ahead of me before I could speak, but
Oh, sorry.
that was fine. No,
The
that's good.
commissioner.
Yes. I wanted to give the board some legal advice that this county commission, I mean, you appoint the members of your boards. You don't typically get involved in the appointments of the chairmen. They typically appoint their own chairman, so.
Well, he just did it, but he wanted our ratification
I
of it.
know, well, I just learned about this issue this morning, but my recommendation would be that, I mean, certainly the board's already acted, but moving forward from this point, that other than the TDC where the chairmanship is appointed by the statute, to the chairman of the county commission or the chairman's designee. All of your other boards appoint their own chairmen themselves by the vote of those memberships. So I would recommend that for the sake of consistency, that all of these advisory boards do the same thing, including the airport board.
So I should rescind my motion?
No, we'll let this action stand, but just moving forward, I just want the board to be aware of that legal advice.
Now, if you don't think we need to do it, we can rescind our motion our second.
I don't think that's necessary. All you've done is you've stated your opinion, the way I would look at that, but it's up to the board if you wanted to rescind it, but I don't think it's necessary.
Ah, we're fine.
But
We're
moving
fine.
forward, those committees appoint their own chairman.
Okay.
There were some questions to the authority.
That's in the-
agency, Yeah.
His,
I was not at that meeting when that vote was taken. I had left at that time. So I wasn't present to give them any legal advice at that.
so how do we need to make,
I'm confused.
well, I'm not confused, but in order for the next chairman of the airport advisory committee to not have that brought to us any longer. So, I mean, it's in the record now, the advice of the attorney. Do I need to make a motion adopting the recommendation of the attorney that from the future, it'd be in board minutes, that in the future, the airport advisory committee
That would be
appoints
fine,
their own?
Mr. Parrish.
Uh-huh,
That would certainly be a prudent move to make.
so moved.
Second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
So now, from here forward, the
AC
airport
can handle it.
advisory committee appoints their own chairman. It does not come to the board.
And y'all
Yes, sir.
just come back and tell us who you got.
We appoint the members appoint their own, or vote for their own chairman.
That's normally how, yes, sir. Thank you. Any other questions for me from the airport?
Have
Great.
none.
Thank y'all.
Commissioner, any
Thank
further
you.
questions for me?
I have none. Y'all have any more for Michael?
No, but I got out something for Alan.
I ain't through yet. I got Mr. Schuler's report.
Well,
Well,
Mr.
hold
Chairman,
on,
I don't
hold
have a
on.
report for the
I'm
board
taking
this
this
morning.
underneath,
Oh,
I'm
no,
taking
this-
this underneath, Michael's report.
Oh, okay.
I need to ask Alan something. When's your official last day?
Well, I've gone part-time, and I will go part-time until I use up my vacation time. I'm working with Michael, so when I need to be here, I'm in the office and you all pay me.
So is it gonna be October or
No,
November?
it'll be probably the end of December is when I run
Okay,
out.
okay. I just wanna know.
He's gonna make
Thank
it
you,
to
Mr.
Christmas,
Chairman.
get his Christmas bonus.
So you working part-time, traveling part-time, you just having a good old time.
I'm trying to, I am trying to, yes, that's exactly.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
For the record, commissioners, what I do is check how the fishing schedule thing is going, and I don't know if he's gonna be here or not.
No, I hope to, like this week is planning commission meeting, and then tomorrow I have a conference call, but after that, I hope to be out, not in the office.
I just wanted to know.
I should be here through the end of the year.
I got paper all over.
Sure is nice.
Any, commissioner comments? Commissioner comments?
Just one that I'm sure the public's already aware that they're doing a lot of, starting the rehab program here in this downtown Apalachicola, and just proceed with caution. I believe when the road paving and all the sidewalks are done, it'll be more, pedestrian friendly, and the traffic will flow a lot better down through
I actually asked
downtown
the people
area.
yesterday, the contractor, and there should be paving today, this section. So this section of 98 coming into town should be finished this afternoon.
You're working fast.
Yeah, they're moving along.
Oh.
How's all my comments, Mr. Chairman?
I got one.
I gotta find out.
I got a comment.
Okay.
I need to know on the armor, people asking me when it's gonna be finished.
The schedule for finishing is in the spring. I don't have an exact date, but sometime March, April.
Okay, cause somebody had asked me, they wouldn't know whether it's gonna be done by January, so
Oh,
they
definitely not like that.
need to look for them another place.
It's gonna be nice though when it gets through. It is gonna be nice. And there's something else I had. What was it? Oh, I know what it was. I need to ask a question, Mr. Chairman. In my comments. Michael, did you ever hear from Career Source on the oyster issue and all? Can you update us on that if you've got an
I
update?
talked to Kim late last week, and she went to Tallahassee, met with Dax, and where they are, they want her to submit a different proposal for the whole shelling program. Apparently, their concerns in Dax at the state that, how do I say this nicely, that they think some of the payments were too high locally. I can say that without getting in trouble. And so they would like her to resubmit a proposal that actually extends the program based on the money that they have right now.
If you all will remember, when we started getting, hearing about the Shelling program and stuff a year or two back, it's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
We had questions about that ourselves. And then we were told that we didn't have no jurisdiction over it and that it was within the standards, and the state said, hey, it's okay with us. And now they've got questions about it.
Well, her concern is that these same people have saw this contract that you talked about, Commissioner, way back. There was no concerns then, so why are there concerns now?
If you don't mind, Michael, just keep your thumb on that,
I
and
will.
let's just see what's going on and.
Yeah, every couple of days, Kim and I talk to see what's going on.
I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Clay Smallwood, I have a question for you, young man. Yes, sir. When are we gonna start the road paving in Carabel?
We are, we have the majority of all the roads ready to go to advertise. I think we have 3 weeks probably before y'all come back together. If you want to give us, the go-ahead to be able to advertise it as soon as we finish up these last few roads, we'll do that advertise it in the next 3 weeks at some point. That would probably lean towards
We meet again in August.
end of October, receive bids, beginning of November,
Yeah,
receive
so
bids,
then
something
when
like
we
that.
advertise when you want to open the bids, and so you want to say open the bids the first meeting in November? Is that
That,
what you're gonna-
that's probably appropriate. That'd give you a good 30
Yeah, we
days,
need
which
to
is
get
what you
going,
need to
because
do.
I'm telling you, Avenue F in Carabel is awful.
It is awful.
A little
It's
lady
bad.
run in it
I agree.
yesterday and knocked her whole tire off of her car.
I went through
It's
there the other
bad.
day in my pickup truck.
She's sitting on the hub.
Okay, I will say, so the only thing you need from us is, so let's say, let's plan on opening the bids first meeting in November.
That'll
Okay.
work for us.
All right. Appreciate it.
Need a motion?
You need a motion for that?
Yes.
I make a
Okay.
motion that we go out for bids on the road paving.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Public comment. Public comment? Public comment. You got one? Meeting adjourned. I got you.
No, man, I wasn't trying to